Okay, just went ahead, pushed the Miata Kart in the garage because it does not run still. Anyways, not the issue right now. We'll figure it out later. Today we're going to be welding on headlights and our tail lights. If I remember the last video, I have both these made. This just took out some material in the hole. Tail light fits, need the same to this one. And then I'm probably going to, I'll weld this side and, nope, because there's Bondo still on this side. I'm going to use it as a Bondo mixing pad. Don't worry about that. I'm going to throw some paint probably over this or something so it doesn't rust. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. But I do need to take some material off of here. I'm thinking probably like this much because it's too, I don't like how spaced in it is. So I'm going to take some material off, grind that one out, get these situated, clean this paint off, and then we're going to start welding this rear section in. All right, just finished welding it as best as I could. It's a bunch of super thin metal, so just a bunch of tacks up top is all we're going to be able to get, I think. My camera's not focusing. Just a bunch of tacks up top is all we're going to be able to get on it, I think. And then one bead down the middle where they met, and then a bead on each side, and I mean bead in parentheses. They're pretty much tack all the way down. It's pretty, it's sturdy though. I mean, these inner edges can bend. I just bent that one in a little bit. It is nowhere near plumb, but it is, in quotation marks, good enough. Gonna let that cool off before I even put those in. Still gotta figure out how I'm gonna run wires to it and what wiring I'm gonna do. Unsure on that still, but headlights need to be done now. So we'll go ahead and probably start cleaning this front end up and the brackets and then weld those on. All right, just went ahead and cleaned up the paint and the bracket and I tacked it in. It's gonna sit like that. It's right there. That's DOT safe up top. I think it's level. Now this is a really thin bracket, so oh, that's nice. That'll also hold it square. The back of that, perfect. So I don't know how I'm gonna weld it. It's not gonna be full. It's probably like the rear end, just a bunch of tacks here and there along the top and the bottom. Bottom side's gonna be a lot harder to weld, but I guess I'm gonna give it a go real quick. Then we're gonna move on to that one. Okay, I just got this front side welded. Absolute boogers. This bottom corner is still pretty flimsy. Still moves quite a bit, just the weak metal in the bracket. I think if I get a few on the back, it should kind of strengthen it up so I can see it bends the whole back side. Not much really do to strengthen this here unless I tie in another bracket down here. And I'm not gonna do that at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some welds on the back side and move on to that one. All right, both headlights are welded on now. Well, that one cool off just finished. I'm gonna see if I have a wire wheel laying around still. I think I do. I'm gonna clean them up while that cools off. If I have one, then put that headlight in. I think they are pretty level and pretty even. And then the rear looks pretty level and even, I think, too. Good enough, at least. You're not gonna be looking at the tail lights on the car, you're gonna be looking at the rest of the car. Headlights stand out a little more, I think, than the tail lights, so they mattered a little more if they were level this way and this way. It took a while getting this one situated to match that one, but I think they're the same level, you know, every way, which way direction. I think hopefully we'll see. Okay, I couldn't find my wire wheel. Really, honestly, didn't look. I just used the flap disc, cleaned it up a little bit. I'm more surprised that neither of these brackets warped from welding. Headlights are dirty, but that looks pretty even, right? It looks even in person, at least. Can't really see through my camera screen. Look the same there. And that one might be a little more flat than this one. The thing is with this, I have no more adjustment to move the headlights up and down or whatnot, left and right. I have no adjustment at all. So I don't even know how well these will shine. I guess let's clean these off really quick. I'm gonna close my garage door and then give some power to these headlights and see where they shine. After cleaning them, that one is way clearer than that one is. That one sat outside for longer. This one's been in the garage for a year or two. That one has some pretty nasty scratch, streak, watermarks, whatever on it. They could both use a little cut and buff and sand, clear coat, something to make them shine better, but it's good enough for now. It'll be legal once I wire it. I also realized I've had a crazy week. I'm too exhausted to wire these things right now, just to see where they shine. They're welded in there. Where they shine, they're shining. That's all I've got for it. There ain't no changing it now. I'll throw these tail lights in. Maybe just one tail light. Let's see if it still goes in after welding. I have not put this in yet. Okay. Pretty easy to mount when they're not in your hand. That's how it would look. Looks a little more stupid than I was hoping. Passenger side needed a little more grinding, but it's in there now. Can maybe use a little more. It looks like a face back here. Like a spider. Not gonna lie, it looks a lot like a spider. Looks like the mouth of a spider. It's not as good looking as I was hoping. But I need it. It probably would look better if they were mounted inwards. Because they're flush and they stick out, it looks kind of weird and tacky. Where if they sat in, it would have looked better. But it is what it is now. Nothing I can do. I mean, I could change it, but I'm not going to. It looks like there's just multiple faces on this car. I just keep seeing faces. Okay, well, that's going to be it for probably today. I might come out a little later. Try to do some wiring. Actually, I can't do any wiring. I have no wires to wire with. I need to get wires. All right, I went ahead, threw a coat of paint on the front now. Also threw a coat of paint on those. And the rear is now painted. Everything's ready for tomorrow for me to go get some wiring and wire up. And we're also going to throw those side skirts on. Boy, do those look good in pink. They should look pretty cool down there. We'll see. Yeah. Let everything dry up. I didn't clean any of this. I started painting before I realized I've got to clean it. Look at that. Oh yeah. Paint's supposed to do that. The majority of it's good. That's hidden by the light anyways. I guess what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw these lights in, throw the screws in, mount these headlights in there. So I'm gonna do real quick. So the trim that goes around and holds these in is chrome. And I don't really think I love the look of that. I think I might paint those blue. Or maybe pink. I don't know. We'll leave them that for now, so they're easy to take on and off. Yeah, I think they look pretty gross, chrome. You can't really see them on camera, at least through this lens and screen I'm looking at, as much in person. They don't stand out that much in person either. I think them blue, they're gonna stand out a lot. Obviously a blue ring here against the pink. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe I'll leave them chrome for now and see what people say in the comment section. Hey, we're gonna wire today. The lovely wiring. Just went and ripped out plugs and some wires from that Miata, because it is a piece of junk. We're gonna wire them up. These headlights first, we're gonna do tail lights. I also need to use flash relay, figure out exactly how I'm gonna wire this up. I did forget to grab a 3-position switch for headlights though while I was gone. So I'll just have to change it later. I'll run the wires 4 brights. I'll just have headlights for now. I'll just change to make it so I can flip the switch 2 brights later. Not a big deal though. Car still does not run, by the way. It's okay. Okay, so I wired this car up like a long time ago. Like a year and a half ago, I think. So I'm gonna go through and try to just remember myself with what wires go to where. I think I have just a little bit of looking. I think this is my headlight, this rear switch. Sorry, I can't know where I'm pointing. This is my headlight. I think I have tail lights wired separately, so if I ran from the police, I could black out. We're gonna change that. That was a stupid idea. And then I have 3 unused switches. That's correct. Okay, so we're gonna make these pretty much connected. I gotta figure out how this goes, because this is the rear lights, and it's tied into the 3-position on the bottom for turn signals. I'm gonna tap that. See, I don't know exactly what's happening here, to be honest with you. We're gonna have to figure it out. Okay, trying to wire up this flasher module. That's what this clicking noise constantly is. So if I switch this to my left side turn signal and say this is my left turn signal. Touch it to my output. It works. Flashing turn signal. You know how it works. Now if I switch to my right hand side, you can hear the flasher blinking, has correct input. And I touch that same one, but to my left hand side turn signal, does not work. And this should be my hazard, but this, it's like this should be a hazard to give both of them, but that should be an input though. But earlier, before I had my other side hooked up, and I just had one side, I was playing with this, and I needed both of these, the hazard switch, and that to touch. See, it changes it completely. So I'm just really lost on how this is working right now. Let me turn this annoying thing off. I'm lost how this works. Because I don't know why my right side turn signal isn't working, my left side is. It was working earlier if I had what should be my hazard switch and this together and then touching a brake light and then it flashed. Now it is not. I'm going to go ahead and try to give this power and see what happens, see if it starts flashing with this giving power, and then touch, maybe both of them to it. Maybe this just needs power, or it needs a switched power that's kind of like on, not on, or whatever until, like there's a closed circuit, I think is what it might be. Okay, just playing with it. This is a switched ground, so I think, no, because I have this ground, this solid black, hooked to a ground right now, which I was thinking this one that's hooked to a power gives power to both sides, but maybe there's two power wires and this doesn't need a ground, and this hazard is a switched hazard ground, and the module doesn't need to have a ground. It's just giving power out, I think. I don't think it needs a ground, does it? I'm not an electrician. And that's why it's not working, because this should be pulling power to get this one to flash my left side turn signal. So now I come over here, if I touch this just right on the ground, it's doing that. Now let me come in here, hold on. Let's do this to there. I'm gonna need two hands. Let me set you up so you can see the light though. So I do this. We're giving power to that. Come in here into ground. Okay. So I think I figured it out. This needs to go to a power, not a ground. You can see I'm touching. This needs to go to power, which is weird for solid black to go to power. But I could never find any pinouts for this module at all. So I'll have to pull this off, and let me think. I'm gonna do really quick. I'm just gonna get this wire power. Is what I'm gonna do. And then we're going to see if my right side turn signal works, which it should. Fingers crossed. Okay, I just cut that ground expecting that to be the issue, and I was correct the first time. That is a ground. It does not work now. If I bring this back and ground it out, box starts flashing again. So that wasn't the issue. There is something else that needs to happen. And I'm not sure what it is. Okay. I'm unsure on that. I think the relay could be bad, the flasher module. I don't know. So I'm going to take a break on it. And I'm going to move on to headlights and taillights. Mainly just headlights, and then running light and brake light for the taillight. Like I said before, I only have the two positions switched at the moment for headlights and taillights. That's old. This is my only single taillight on the rear. Just wired up. Headlights, I don't have brights or turn signal wires out of the front yet. Have to get to that later. Looks good enough though. Was gonna do the rear, but I'm tired of wiring, so I'm gonna throw these sides, side skirts, side lips, whatever you want to call it, lip kit. I don't know what to call it, but I'm gonna throw it on with, I guess, some self tappers, if I even have any. I don't know if I have any self tappers. Ooh, I got spray paint. Can't tell you that much. I'll find something to tap it on with. Super glue, duct tape, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna get them on real quick though. That's how it's gonna look. It's kind of tacky on camera. Looks a lot cooler in person. It's droopy right now, so it'll look better when it's up tight. But like that versus, the garage is a mess right now, but that's without it. I can always take them off. I'm throwing them on though. I think it'll look cool. It's a little more of everything. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's like kind of cool, but I think it's also like kind of tacky. I don't know what to think about that. But I'm going to try. I think this battery's probably dead from messing with wiring all day. I guess let's find out really quick. I'm gonna adjust. Never mind. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna end this video here.